Hi, how are you? I'm Julie Torrens. Welcome. We're going to get started. I'm working in one of my journals. This is the Kincaid one, and I've got some magenta, and I just want to start making a bit of a kind of a frame. And this color is, if I remember right, I'm just getting a baby white. This color is very opaque, not transparent. And I picked that on purpose to start just around the edge to make a frame. Now this page has been gessoed, and I have videos on how I take a book and how I turn it into an art journal. I've got this paper here, not so much because I'm trying to keep this pink off of that. I don't think it will hurt it one bit, but because I've got my brushes and my paper towels, so I would like to be able to use this as a surface to sit stuff on. So that's why I just put that on there to give it a little protection. Just needed a little more paint. And this is a Daler Rowney paint, and it's just called Magenta. Got it at Tuesday morning out of a clearance of the clearance. But so far, all the Daler Rowney paints that I've gotten, they've been fine. They've been fine. They've been certainly good for art journaling. So there we've got the start. Okay. All right, now I want to fill the rest. I've got some of my dilutions, and I know that these are more transparent. So this is a pink. I'll let you know what the name of it is in just a second. I'm just putting a few dots all the way around. And this one is called, and I already shook it, Tropical Sangria. And I did find a new spot, and I'm just gonna put it on here like this. And yes, I'm overlapping a bit, which is fine. I think that's a good thing. That's why one of the reasons why I wanted this paint was because it is transparent, and it does lend itself nicely to be able to go on top and let the other paints shine through. And I'm just trying not to have any real thick spots. And now I'm going to find another clean spot, and this is called Lemon Drop. And again, another transparent color. And I think I put a little bit more on there because if I can, I'd like this one to overlap even more. It kind of gives you an orange color over that pink, which I think is just another layer of goodness. So how are you doing? I hope you've been working in your journals, doing something you enjoy. Okay, I'm liking this so far. I'm not going to get rid of this because I wanted just even a little bit more. And while this is still wet, I'm going to add, now this is called bubblegum pink. This is some of my sprays. Now I don't plan to just mush all over the place, but just a few places like that. And I'm going to work it around, more kind of a blotting. And it's going to kind of sink into the acrylic, and I'm kind of pushing it into the acrylic. Okay, and I picked out another spray, and this one is called Pure Sunshine. So I'm going to do the same thing, just a little bit of spraying. And I am putting the sprays more towards the middle. And just blot it around. Just wanted to add some, I don't know, extra dimension, extra color, all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm liking this. I think it's bright. I think it's cheerful. I like it just fine. All right, I am going to get rid of that. And now I want to add more. So I've got my paper plate, and I'm sorry for reaching. I've got my Liquitex gesso. I like the gesso because it looks, when you put it down, more opaque than it is. It lets what's underneath shine through. So, and I've got a couple of stencils. And the first stencil I have, this is called Broken Glass. I think it's called Broken Glass. It might be called Stained Glass. It's the large one, and it is from Diane Reevely. And I just thought I would add some of this. I've got some of these cosmetic sponges, and I'm just stomp, 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 and kind of work it in. And I don't want it all over, but just here and there. And let's hold it down a little bit. I'm just going to put some of this here and there. Bring it into the yellow a little bit. And as I say, it looks more white than it's going to once it's dry. Oh, I love that. I love that. I'm going to put some more over here. Slide it over just a bit. What do you think of it? Do you like it? Hope so. And you know, if you don't have stencils, you can use things like those mesh bags that fruits and vegetables come in, like garlic and oranges, and those little baskets that maybe strawberries or other berries come in, and they've got kind of a texture. There's all kinds of textures you can use. I don't have a boatload of stencils. I'd like to get some more, but right now, use what you have. And just, maybe you want to use some bubble wrap that would make some texture. Just let your imagination go. All right, so we've got 3 spots of that, which I like. Then I've got this one, and it's called, I believe, Spring Blooms. And this is, again, another of the Diane Reevely, and it's the large version. She has a lot of her stencils come in a large and a small version. And they didn't just take, I'm reaching again, I'm sorry, I'm going to get a little more gesso. They didn't just take her large version and stick it on a computer and shrink it, because the proportions just don't always work quite right. So she hand draws all these stencils that she makes. But then she also, and I just know this because she's talked about it on her channel, but she hand draws to make the smaller versions as well. Okay, so some of these flowers are going to overlap a little bit, and that's fine. And I'm not concerned if I get a whole flower or just part of a flower. It's all good with me. Gesso is just so helpful if you're trying to economize a bit and you're buying acrylic paints. You don't necessarily have to buy white if you buy yourself some gesso. That looks good. I think I'm going to stick a flower right here. And again, if I don't get this whole flower, or if I get bits of another flower, it's fine. Okay. Yes, that's looking good. I'm going to move this over. And I think I'm going to give us some flower power over here. What do you say? So I've been in a bit of a slump, just kind of a creative slump. and I tried some of the little tricks that I've shared with you. I was on Pinterest and I was looking at some lists of challenges for doing in your art journal, and just didn't spark any, I don't know, didn't spark any joy or inspiration. And so then I decided, well, one of the things I also like to do is I like to take a quote that maybe I heard recently. This one I happen to have heard recently, but might be just one that has been banging around in my life for years. Just take a quote and get it in your art journal. And it's my art journal, right? So how it turns out, I'm not that worried. I'm never worried. And I just can then, I'm going to put one up here. I can then just know that that quote, it's in my art journal, and I can look it up if I want to. Now, when I use quotes, I do try to credit who the quote is from. And I heard this one while I was on my way to work, and I have an hour drive to work. So I was listening to a sermon, and he had heard this quote, the guy that was talking, he had heard this quote from someone else, and that someone else wasn't the author of the quote either. So I went ahead and just typed the quote into Google and found out who did it. I have this corner right here, and I think you can see that. I think I'm going to add a little bit more of the broken glass. Just feels like it could use a little more there. Yeah, I like that better. Okay, I'm liking this really fine. Sure. Okay. And I've got those stencils just set aside on a little wax paper so they don't get on the carpet, but that gesso dries so fast. Okay, so that went fast, don't you think? Sure it did. And it feels, it's pretty dry. All right, so what next? Well, until I get the quote on there, I'm really not sure I want to do a whole lot more. So here's my quote, and it's, never cry over anything that can't cry over you. And it's Marston is who was the one that quote came from. Apparently he's an author. So, you know, this can be a little bit tricky to get these on here. But again, don't worry. Just do the best you can. I do have this ruler from Diane Reevely. See, this is the Dilutions, same as these sprays and these paints. So I do use a lot of her products. I like her style. I like her color choices. She's bright and bold, and so am I. So I like this ruler. I use it for a lot of things. And I'll tell you, if you have some great big stamps, and I just got some, and I'm going to talk about that in an upcoming video. But if you've got some really big stamps that your acrylic blocks, this can be a godsend. I have used this for stamps that just won't fit. And I'm not a particular stamper, but I do like to use stamps from time to time, and this can be a helper. So this is multitask. So let's see. First, how many lines do I want this to be? I think what I'm going to do is never cry over, and then a line to itself, anything, and then that can't cry, and then maybe that can't cry over, and then you. So anything and you are going to be the kind of on their own. So let's see. And am I a calligrapher, or do I do fancy penmanship? No. Is this straight on my book? I have no idea. I'm a lot of help, aren't I? Let me grab a pencil, and I'm just going to put this in lightly. This is still wet, so if it ends up showing a little bit, I don't care. Okay, well, how many words? 1, 2, 3. So 3 words. So probably I'm going to start at that and end there. So like that. Okay. And then I think I want a little more space, and I'm just bringing it down. And I think for the word anything, I probably can get away with just from here to here. And then I'll do another section that's bigger. So I'll go from the second hole to the second hole. And then for you, I'll just put it there. And then I'll just put who wrote it there. Okay, so there's my line. So you can use a regular ruler. Maybe you have, just like you could use a plate. And you could just make yourself some lines this way. Just, you don't need special tools. Okay, so cry is the middle word here, but that's a small word. So, but I still want it like the R of cry in the middle. So I'm going to put that right here. And then the Y. And then the C. Now here comes never. So I better start with the end of the word, which is, and I don't have enough, but we're just going to wing it. Okay, so I need R-E-V. R-E-V. And then an E and an N. Okay, never cry. And then over here is over. O-V-E-R. Okay, never cry over. And now I want anything in the middle. So A-N-Y-T, oh, there, let's count this out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I want 1, 2, 3, 2 in the middle, 1, 2, 3. So the TH is front and center. TH. And that is ING. They look a little small. I-N-G. And then over here, I need A-N-Y. Put the Y and the N, yeah. And the A. Okay. And then that can't cry over. So the cry, the can't and the cry are in here. Okay. I think I'll get the cry over here. And then over is going to be here. O-V-E-R. Okay, and I need T apostrophe N-A-C. And then that is T-H-A-T, so end with T. That's wrong. I tell you, no matter how much I work on this, let's see if we can erase any of this. And if not, I can just kind of fill it in a little bit with, I don't think I brought my white eraser. I missed it the last time I was working with pencil. Okay. So this is an H and an A, but the T is fine. All right. All right. That can't cry over. And this is a O right in the middle. Okay. Should we give it a try? Sure. We'll see what it looks like. And if let me see, how dry are we? Because I'm going to be using, we're going to risk a Sharpie. Okay. I'm going to start with the never. So I'm going to be moving this around a little bit. And I'm sorry. I'm just kind of deciding, do I want to make them kind of open letters? I don't think so. Never. Never cry over anything. Here's the bumbled up one. We'll just see how it looks, and if I need to maybe put a little paint over it again, we'll just see. T. This is starting to die a little bit. I think it's picking up some of the paint. Oh, that's okay. Yeah, it's getting, let's see. If it was other circumstances, I'd just grab another one, but I think dragging one through the acrylic paint is quite enough. Okay, good start, good start. Now, I think I'm going to take another, maybe one of my acrylic markers, the white, and I'm going to go around them. And let's see what that does. I think I'm going to just move this because I'm really done with the wild acrylic. I didn't even need a brush, but I wasn't sure. With mixed media, you never know, right? All right, I'm going to just go around the letters. Just like that. Just give it a couple of pushes to get the paint to the bottom of the nib here. Okay, running out. There we go. And I can always go back with the black if the white obliterated it too much, because my hand is just not steady enough. or precise enough. Okay, so what is going on in your world? We're having unseasonably warm weather, kind of an Indian summer sort of a thing going on here in Western Michigan. So it's been warm today. My air conditioning is gone today. Now, I could open the windows, but right now there's so much allergens out there. And when you've got all these leaves on the ground, which we have a lot of leaves on the ground, you get more molds and weird dusts. So I just would rather not open the windows right now because it'll just give me sneezes and what have you. And it's windy. So that stuff is just really airborne. Now, if you're using an acrylic paint pen and it starts to just run clear, give it a shake because that's the binder. And you just need to shake it up so that the pigment gets mixed in a little more. So we've had sunny yesterday, sunny today. You'd think I'd have inspiration just flowing out of my ears. It's been such beautiful weather. But no, just in a bit of a slump, and we all get that from time to time. And so but I wanted to do art. Now, it wasn't one of those times that I was looking at my art table, and I can't say it never happens, but it rarely happens, that I just look at my art table and I think, oh no, I don't even want to go near it. Nope. So I did some tidying. Sometimes if I tidy things up, like, sort a box, or like I was going through some ephemera and just kind of getting it into some categories, into little containers. But that didn't inspire me. Didn't turn me off, but it didn't inspire me. And so then I tried going and doing some magazine harvesting, which again was fun, but I can't say that anything jumped out at me saying, oh yeah, let's do this. No, it didn't. So then I went to Pinterest and I looked up some art journal challenges, and I did what I normally do. So like I took the date today and I took the month, which is 10. So I went to the 10th article that had art journal challenges, and then I went to the 22 and I saw what that challenge was, and I was like, no, I really don't want to do this. So I was like, what else? So then I started thinking, okay, what about some quotes? And this popped right into my mind, and I thought, yes, I want to get that written down somewhere before I forget it. And so again, this is my art journal. So if it's not perfect, which nothing in my art journal is perfect, nothing I make is perfect, I'm not worrying about it. The biggest thing I want is to have this quote, and just by working it like I am, that's going to help solidify it in my brain. And then I can always go through my journals because I know I've got a lot of these kinds of quotes that I really like. And so I put them in my art journal. And that's always fun. But that sparked some inspiration to go ahead and do some art. I knew I wanted to spend time with you. That wasn't the situation. I wasn't thinking, oh, I have to do another video. No, I wanted to do a video, but I wanted to do something that I could, feel enjoyable with, something I would have some enthusiasm over. And because I think that if I'm not enthusiastic about a project, it will just show. I did watch a couple of videos today. Wasn't really looking for inspiration as much as just their videos that I follow. And I just wanted to see what was up with them. And that was fun, but it wasn't necessarily inspirational, but it was good. Hey, how's it looking to you? I'm liking it just fine. I think the white is helping to make the letters stand up out off of the page. I can see some few little spots that maybe the white got a little bit thin, but that's okay. And just go over them again. Oh, I missed the Y. Were you saying that to me? I heard someone say it. How about the Y? Yeah, how about it? There we go. Okay. Now the spray that I used on here, this will activate it. So where maybe your white doesn't seem as punchy as you'd like it, it can just be that. All right. Now, I like what I have here, but I think for one thing, I want to doodle on one of these flowers. So let's ruin another Sharpie, huh? Oh, I'm shaking it, and this doesn't really shake. Now let me see, because I can't tell if this is dry or if the paint got on it. And to tell you the truth, I think it's just getting dry. So let's grab another one. That's a little one. I wanted a big one. What do we got here? Okay, this is good. Now, if I ruin it, I ruin it. I just want to doodle around at least one flower. After I get one flower done, I'll see if maybe I want to doodle around another one. And I bought this a couple years ago, at least. And it wasn't a new release then. So they do retire these things. Now this is put out by Ranger Ink. When I say ink, I mean INK, like ballpoint pen ink. So you can look on their website. They have a rangerink.com if you're looking for this stencil. Okay, I like that. Should I do another one? Like, you know, the natural thing would be like over here. I really don't want to outline one that runs right into the words. I think I'm just going to leave this one. I think I'm going to leave this just as one, but I think I'm going to grab one of my skinnier Sharpies, and I'm going to, no, this one is not working too great. Let's try this one. Yeah, I think I'm going to put, because this is really dry. And yes, you should let acrylics dry like overnight, but I'm not doing that. So I'm going to doodle some more in this. And I'm just going to put some circles all the way around on the inside of these petals. While you tell me, what do you do when you're feeling like you just want some inspiration? And again, I wasn't feeling antagonistic, like, or put upon to say, oh no, I've got to. No, I wanted to do this. I just didn't know what I wanted to do. So what do you do when you feel like that? What do you do when you don't know what to do? Let me know in the comments. And while you're over there, my channel is kind of stuck at 333 subscribers. I need subscribers, please. If you would so consider, if you like my content, to please subscribe to my channel. And it would help me so much. I'm a new channel, been around about 6 months, and I'm just trying to build up my subscribers so that it will open up for me some more of the advantages of someone who has a 4,000 watch time hours and 1,000 subscribers. Now they did open, and I mentioned this in one of my other videos recently, that they opened up the community tab, but it's a rollout process. So on my channel, it hasn't been rolled out yet. But when it has, I'll certainly let you know. Because it's just another way that we can connect, and I can kind of let you know what I'm doing. I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to utilize it. I was thinking like maybe I could put, if we're going to work on a project that needs a lot of things, that I could say in there, hey, you know, grab your journal and some acrylic paints, grab your favorite stencil, bring your favorite quote, you know what I mean, and just make it easier so that you could maybe craft along or do some art with me. That would sure be fun. I do crafting and art while I am watching other people's videos. I'm going to do a little more doodling. Didn't that just make this white flower sing? I think it did. Yeah, I think that looks great. Maybe instead of doing another flower with doodles, maybe I could just do a couple of these squares, these rectangles. How about that idea? Maybe just pick a couple of these. Honestly, I think if I doodled all of them, I think it would just look awfully chaotic. But I think just doing a few could be pretty. We're going to find out. I like the way that the sprays left these little dotty dots. I think that's really nice. Okay, so let's fill these guys in with some doodles, huh? That's a lot of circles. So maybe I'll do more in the way of some squares. Makes it sort of look like buildings, huh? And I am not doing this with any precision at all. I am literally just doodling, just making marks, nothing specific. Okay, maybe just some lines. I like this. What do you think? Do you like to doodle? I think it can be so relaxing. Just making marks like that. I think it can be really relaxing. Okay, let's see. I think I am going to add some circles. Not really polka dots in a order like polka dots are in, just like that. And then maybe some stripes. Just doing lines and dashes. Like that. All right. Maybe we should pluck out one more, something or another. Part of a flower, maybe. This is when you can see better than I can as far as what would be sort of a balance. I'm awfully close, but I'm just going for it. One more. If you can see changes in the lighting, I'm sorry. The sun is coming and going, and so I hope you can see okay. I do have my windows, well, my patio blinds are open, so we're getting whatever the sun has to offer. I like doing videos when I have some natural light because I think that it gives you the better chance of seeing colors just a little more true. My camera's not trying to adjust. Okay, that looks nice. And do some squares again. And one more. Let's see. Well, maybe a combination, like rectangle, circle, rectangle, circle. Like that. I think it needs one here. There. Okay. That's kind of lightened it up a little bit. Now, the white is more white now than when it was wet. So I think I'm just going to give it just a little more in some of the places that I just really can't see it. Like there and here, this side of the A, the N, boy, I don't want to end up doing all of them over again. That's helped a lot though. Some of it I believe is where the spray inks have lifted up into the white. Okay. All right. I do not have my white eraser, so just visit, and I'm going to grab it. It's right here. There we go. And I'm going to see if I can move some of these lines. If I can, okay. If I can't, I'm not going to worry about it. It doesn't appear that I can. So I think that the paint was just wet enough to grab it. That's okay. So I've got a couple choices. I can just leave it, or see if, I'm seeing if maybe some spots are different than others, but no. I can just leave it. I can make them black or white, or I can try to paint like to mask it. I think what I'll do, that one black marker was just a little bit happier than the other one. Was it this one? I think so. I think I'm going to just see about filling this in like this. Uh-huh. Yeah. And again, this isn't like it's a commission work that I feel like I have to have a real specific look. Okay. Yep. That did it for me. That's good. Now, what's that guy's name? Marsden. That's who said the quote, "Never cry over anything that can't cry over you." I like the way this page plays off of this page. They're not the same, but flowers, flowers, brights, brights. So I do like when my art journal pages are like that. And let's give this a signature. And this one, I think, I'm going to set it aside because I'm thinking I need to throw that one away, but it might just need a little work. Okay. Please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. And I hope that you enjoyed this. Leave me a comment and let me know how you get through a slump. And in the meantime, I'll look for you in another video. Bye now.